I don't know about you, but whenever I come across clips like this, I go, damn, I gotta watch this anime. Which is how I found out about Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, or just Kabaneri as I'm gonna call it. Kabaneri is an anime original made by Wit Studio in the time between Attack on Titan Season 1 and Season 2's release. Afterward, coming out with a movie that takes place after Kabaneri's first season and was released as a Netflix exclusive, even when the actual series isn't on Netflix. Set during what they like to call the Industrial Revolution of the Samurai Age, we are introduced to a steamsmith by the name of Ikuma, who is in the midst of a zombie apocalypse where the zombies are known as Kabaneri. Kabaneri may seem just like zombies that glow red, and well, they kinda are, apart from only dying when their hearts are destroyed, which are encased inside a metal cage. But everything else is the same you'd expect. You still get infected by bites and they try to eat you just like any normal zombie apocalypse story. After a breach in the walls of a city known as Aragane Station, the Kabaneri go on a rampage, killing everyone that they can get their hands on, and one ends up stumbling into Ikuma's workshop. This gives him the perfect chance to use the weapon that he's been working on, known as the piercing gun. But just before killing the Kabaneri, he gets bit. Now that he's bit, you might wonder what he's going to do, and that worked. From choking himself, it stops the virus from reaching his head and means no becoming Kabaneri. What he becomes from this is known as a Kabaneri, and is the thin line between human and Kabaneri, and gives him enhanced physical strength at the cost of having to drink blood to stay part human, and not become completely Kabaneri. I feel like the story had no real substance after the first couple episodes, and just dipped down quality so much. With an extremely predictable story and bad characters, it seemed like Wit Studio were just milking the success of Attack on Titan, and squeezing all the ideas and story elements, and chucking some zombies with it. But these are only some of the similarities that the two have. First, it starts off with a breach in the walls that humanity have to live within to protect themselves. There's a main character who becomes half of the thing, in this case Kabaneri, that's killing off humanity while also saying that they're going to kill every last one of them after a family member died. And nobody trusts the main character and is terrified of them, wanting them killed but end up learning that they need their power to survive. Kabaneri has its fair share of good and bad characters, and I'd say it's pretty split in the middle of how many characters I like and don't like. At the top of the don't like would easily be Mume. She's revealed to be the only other Kabaneri, and to begin with she seems like a badass character, using all sorts of cool ways to kill Kabaneri, but ends up just becoming the character that made me so close to dropping this anime. Mume is just so stupid throughout the whole show and can easily be tricked into screwing everyone over, where anyone with half a brain would realize that it's not a good idea. But all this was before watching the Netflix movie, because after I watched that, I came to not hate her too much. Ikuma is a character that puts everyone else's lives before his own, even when they don't treat him with the same respect. Ikuma is such a similar character to Eren that I could be talking about one and you wouldn't really know who I'm talking about. He's essentially just a reskinned Eren that was copied and pasted from Attack on Titan into this show. The main antagonist of the series is Biba, and before you ask, no, he doesn't turn into a Titan. Everyone else is pretty eh. This guy uses a sword, this guy's Ikuma's friend, you get the picture, and this guy speaks English.
Stand by, okayness, niceness!
From Wit Studio, you probably already have high hopes for the animation to look good, and if Attack on Titan is anything to go off, then you already know what Wit Studio can do. I gotta give it to them, but Wit Studio has done a really good job with the art and animation for Kabaneri. The character design for Ikuma and Mume is some top-notch stuff that shows the personality of both the characters, but it was never really explained why Ikuma's hair just changed colours completely. It has some great action scenes and good-looking visuals, with some having heaps of detail, especially with the close-ups. The CGI can look a bit rough at times, but it's nothing to go attack the animators in studio on Twitter for. I swear the only two good things about the show is the art and the music. The opening's an absolute banger, with great visuals to go with it, and the rest of the soundtrack is just really impressive. Likely because it was composed by Hiroyuki Sawano, the same person that did Attack on Titan's soundtrack, and that was godlike. The voice acting performances were all on point, especially Tasuka Hatanaka, who played Ikuma, because in a lot of the scenes where he's screaming or even getting angry, you can hear how dedicated he was to the role. This anime is a good example of how good visuals, directing and music can't make a good anime with a story that's just so uninspired and predictable. The movie was quite an enjoyable watch, but this actual series itself, it wasn't. I really did want to like the series, but they just made it so difficult to say it was good. I wouldn't say the show was a complete waste of my time, but I would definitely not watch it again. Yo, if you liked my video, then a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.